We begin with breaking news. Iran retaliating against the U.S. this morning after this weekend's airstrikes. U.S. military bases in Qatar and Iraq targeted, Iran launching missiles about an hour ago. This is new video just in, showing those missiles being intercepted over Qatar. The target there, the Al-Udeid Air Base, which hosts the forward headquarters of the U.S. military. So far, there are no reports of any casualties from Iran's attack. Iran says the missile attack matched the number of U.S. bombs dropped on its 3 nuclear sites over the weekend. Military analysts say that could signal that Iran may be willing to de-escalate. The airbase also sits outside the populated areas in Qatar. Iran claims that it gave advance notice of the missile launches. However, Qatar is condemning the attack, saying it could respond against Iran. Now, the base housing U.S. troops in western Iraq was also targeted by missiles. So far, Iran has not claimed responsibility for that second attack. And now to a live look at the White House, where President Trump has been meeting with his national security team this morning after this weekend's military strikes on those nuclear sites. New images coming in this morning showing the surface damage from the bombs dropped on the 3 nuclear facilities targeted in Operation Midnight Hammer. President Trump has said the sites were obliterated. The facility there was underground. That was the key target. And this is where the 30,000-pound bunker buster bombs were dropped. The chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff says it's too early to tell the full scope.
Final battle damage will take some time, but initial battle damage assessments indicate that all 3 sites sustained extremely severe damage and destruction.
Israel and Iran trading more missile attacks overnight. In this video circulating online, you can see a large blast at this site of an electrical substation in Israel. It comes as President Trump floats the idea of a regime change in Iran. Trump posting online that if the current Iranian regime is unable to make Iran great again, why wouldn't there be a regime change? Right now, House spokesperson Caroline Leavitt commenting on the president's social media post this morning.
If they refuse to engage in diplomacy moving forward, why shouldn't the Iranian people rise up against this brutal terrorist regime? That's a question the president raised last night.
Operation Midnight Hammer was carried out in complete secrecy, and the military says the attack caught Iran by surprise. Only a few key members of Congress were briefed before this attack. Let's take a live look now at the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. Many congressional Democrats are speaking out against President Trump's decision to strike Iran. Washington Representative Democrat Pramila Jayapal posted on X saying, thinking of our Iranian American community in Seattle and across the country, and calling for Americans everywhere to speak and act for peace and diplomacy and not war. Democrat Congressman Adam Smith condemning the strikes on X, saying the president did not seek authorization from Congress or demonstrate that Iran posed an immediate threat to the security of the United States. Meanwhile, Republican Representative Dan Newhouse showing support, quote, "I stand with our ally Israel as we work together to end this dangerous regime's efforts towards a nuclear weapon of mass destruction." And here in Western Washington, we're hearing from local Israeli and Iranian communities about the U.S. military strikes on the nuclear sites. During a weekend rally, attendees said that they are cautious of what comes next, but hopeful that this could bring change.
United in a message of shared hope. Watching and waiting, members of Seattle's Jewish community say they are largely numb to the dangers posed by this oppressive country.
All of this terror, people have to remember what is happening, who's behind it, how did it start, and how did we get to these spaces.
Both sides coming together at a solidarity gathering on Mercer Island, applauding this weekend's airstrikes.
Believe or not, most of the Iranians are happy, and they celebrated yesterday because of that incident.
Many argue that the intervention was needed because of the human rights abuses under the Iranian regime.
They oppress 46 years their own people. They don't think about the benefit interests of their own people.
The Iranian people are not the Iranian regime. They feel that they've been captive under this oppressive, destructive, violent regime for years. So.
And this local reaction comes as the Anti-Defamation League found there was a 15% rise in anti-Semitic incidents in the Pacific Northwest region. last year compared to 2023. That brings us to this morning's KOMO Pulse poll. We're asking, are you concerned about local security in the wake of the U.S. strikes of Iran? Let's see if we can take a look at some of those live results. About 44% of you vote no, 39% have voted yes, and 17% say we will see how this plays out. If you would like to participate in our KOMO Pulse poll, just scan the QR code that you see on your screen. It will take you directly to this link on our poll at komonews.com. Count on KOMO for continuing coverage of the U.S. involvement in Iran, including a potential backlash. We'll bring you a live update on air and on social media, and of course on komonews.com.